Well, the good news for all of us is that we've got a professional home economist on the show today. She is in the house, and Mayor, she's got some great tips to help us keep our food fresher longer. And I think it's all about storage, is it not?
It's totally about storage, because you know, when you bring it home and then you try to, and you overbuy and then you shove it into your fridge, you don't have the good air circulation, and so parts of your fridge will not be as cold as they should be, and then that's going to not keep your food safe for longer or keep it fresh for longer. So storage, don't overbuy. And then the big one is for wasting food, shop your fridge, your freezer, or your pantry before you go to the grocery store. And so look in the fridge, see what you've got left over before you make your mission to the grocery store, and then you're not overbuying and you're not going to be wasting as much food. And I don't want you to waste any. So that is a huge one.
What can you tell us about storing our meat?
It starts at the grocery store. So I take these gel packs with me now to the grocery store, especially in the hot weather. And if you don't have a cooler bag, you can just put it in a shopping bag, and then you have all your cold stuff. So your things like meat or fish or poultry, that's all going to be with the cold pack. And when you get it home, you want to put it right in the refrigerator, but really pay attention to that best before date. That's the one that it is not even close to being a suggestion. You really want to look at that. And when it gets to the date, which is best before, then you want to cook it. So I like to cook this. We're going to have tacos tonight, so my husband's really excited. This is some leftover ground beef. If you're not going to cook it, you can freeze it. Make sure that you're going to wrap it up, because the freezer is very dehydrating and you don't want to dehydrate the meat. So make sure it's wrapped up really well. Or you could cook this. You've got an extra 2 to 3 days tops in a fridge that has good air circulation. And then, or you can freeze that afterwards.
Okay, Mairlyn, how about dairy? What do we do with that to make sure it's still fresh?
For milk, you know, it's going to have a best before. If it isn't open, you can actually have 7 days past the best before. But once you open it, you really need to be drinking it in 2 to 3 days. So that's kind of a nice window to know. And it's so important. So if you're not going to go through 2 liters of milk in 2 days, if you've gone past it, maybe it's actually a better buy to buy just a liter. But the rules are a little different with yogurt and kefir, because you're buying it for the probiotics. And the best before is the manufacturer's date that's saying those probiotics are all intact. And after that date, it's still going to be safe to eat, but the probiotics are going to go down. And I'm eating probiotics from yogurt or kefir every single day to keep my immune system supported. So just bear that in mind. It's still safe to eat, but you're not getting maybe the biggest bang for your buck.
Okay, so here's a question. What is the right temperature for your fridge and your freezer?
So for your fridge, it should be 4 degrees Celsius or 40 Fahrenheit. And for your freezer, it should be -18 Celsius or 0 Fahrenheit. But fridges nowadays don't have those numbers. They basically have your manufacturer numbers. So it might say a 4 or a 6. Read your label or read your manual, and it's going to say what it says you should be doing your refrigerator at. So that doesn't mean the 4 does not mean it's 4 degrees. It just means that the manual will get it to that temperature if you leave it at 4. So read that manual.
Okay, you got to read the manual. Now I want to ask you about eggs. Is it okay to leave your eggs out on the counter?
Read my lips, N-O. Eggshells are very, very porous. And so because of that, you want to keep them in the refrigerator. And really important where they are. Do not leave them on the door of your fridge, even though there's that cute little egg thing. They need to stay in the container and in the coldest part of your fridge, which would be sort of on the bottom or in the middle against the wall of the refrigerator. And then after about, when you reach the best before, one way that you can extend those eggs is to hard cook them. And so I hard cook them, and then you've got another entire week left with wonderfully fresh eggs that are still fresh and safe and wonderful. When it comes to vegetables, though, that's the big one, Tracy. I think people throw away most of their vegetables. I just want to talk about leafy greens, because that seems to be the one that gets the most, turns into slime in the slime drawer. So I did a little experiment, and I bought some spinach just loosely in a little twist tie, and you can see that I just brought it home like this, and it's already started to go rot. What I did, I broke it in half, and so this was the same spinach, because it's all about science here, and I rolled it out and I put it into a tea towel, and I took all the water off, and these spinach leaves are beautiful compared to these sad little leaves. So do you want to be a happy spinach or a sad spinach?
Well, I want to be a beautiful spinach. Thank you so much, Mairlyn, for going through all the rules with us. Pay attention to this woman. She knows what's up. Great tips.